P2B has dropped another shocking bombshell. Listen.
I would rather lose doing the right thing than win doing the wrong thing. My politics have been consistent in character and integrity throughout the time I started. And you can go and check. When we talk about integrity, we should talk about the integrity in management of public resources. That is what we should be talking about in this country.
All right, integrity in managing public resources is where we are going to stick to on this video, and I want you to listen very attentively because I'm going to expose the shocking reasons why we are going through difficulties in this country, and you'll be shocked to discover what is going on. And for the rest of the video where P2B is explaining, I'm still going to play it for you after, but just relax. Let me gist you. Now, P2B has kept on emphasizing on integrity and consistency in character in several of his videos, and I've been thinking, what is he always trying to explain to us when he talk about this? And I decided to do some simple findings. Boom! I discovered the reason why we are going through difficulties in this country, and I also discovered why some other countries who are less populous, less in population, and don't even have 1/3 of the blessing God has given us as a country are even doing far better than us. And not just doing better, they are increasing on daily basis. But on our own side, we are decreasing on daily basis. And again, have you realized that something has kept on recurring since the last past immediate 3 to 4 president of this country? And what has been happening is that whenever a president comes and do his 8 years tenure and go, and another president steps in, before you know what is happening, 2 seconds, babe, we begin to miss the past president, no matter how bad his regime was. Now, all these things boils down to this particular thing which I'm about to expose. But just like I told you, relax, let me gist you. As I was doing my findings, I decided to head on to Google to check 1 or 2, and that was where I discovered the shock of the millennium. But let's check it out together. I head on to Google and decided to check the difference between integrity and sincerity. But let's just check it out. When you click on it, you will see that there are so many explanations, but I decided to go with this AI overview. And when you click on more, let's even check it out. It says that integrity and sincerity, while related, have distinct meanings. Integrity is about acting in accordance with one's core values and principles, even when it's difficult, and involve consistency between one's actions and beliefs. Sincerity, on the other hand, is about being genuine and truthful in one's word and actions. A person can be sincere without necessarily having integrity, and vice versa. In fact, let's continue a little bit. Here are more details breakdown. Now, he said integrity definition: a steadfast commitment to moral and ethical principles, leading to consistent behavior that align with one's values. Now, let's jump the others and go to sincerity definition. He says that being genuine, honest, authentic in one's communication and behaviors. Now, when you look at this very well, I decided to ask myself more questions. Is it possible that someone can have integrity and still not be sincere? And the answer is yes. Is it possible that somebody can be sincere but don't have integrity? The answer is yes. Don't forget that I've told you previously that some countries are doing far better than us economically, and not just doing better, they are consistently increasing on it, even when they are less populous and they don't have 1/3 of the riches we have in this country, especially in Africa here. Now, I understand that most of the African leaders are very ridiculous when it comes with handling public funds. But some of these African countries who are relatively doing better than us economically have been able to elect somebody that has one among these 2 characteristics. And let's say they elected somebody that lacks integrity but have sincerity. The person might come up that I will do this project, I will do the other one, I will do the other one, which in actual sense, he will keep to his promises. But if that project was supposed to cost, let's say 20,000, the person might come up with 20 billion. That was the amount he or she used in that particular project, which is not good because other things are going to be affected because of capital mismanagement, or should I say insincerity. But at least when you get to the country, you'll be seeing 1 or 2, and it will also help in holding the economy a little bit. But the problem we have here in Nigeria is that before, when we were lucky electing people that has either sincerity or integrity, the economy was a little bit better and stable. But over time, we have not just degenerated from electing people who lacks both integrity and sincerity. We are also electing some leaders who are so dubious and has other questionable characters in their portfolios, and that is the reason why the economy is falling with a speed of light on a daily basis, which is a big problem. But nevertheless, let me allow you to listen to other things that P2B has to say in this video. But as you are listening to it, make sure you are clicking on that share button and also subscribe in case if you have never done so. For more updates, share your thought with me, and after that I'll be back. Let's go there.
I would rather lose doing the right thing than win doing the wrong thing. My politics have been consistent in character and integrity throughout the time I started. And you can go and check. Can I go back to the question you asked earlier about comments of Governor Wike yesterday? There's something he talked about. When he was talking, the one I think he mentioned was when he talked about issue of integrity. He said that even my going questions my integrity. I don't know how that was came in, but I think when we talk about integrity, we should talk about the integrity in management of public resources. That is what we should be talking about in this country. And when such things are mentioned about me, I feel maybe there's something missing somehow. Well, let me correct the first impression. He said it's about dumping them. I didn't dump any. My party is like an association. You have freedom of association. You have freedom to go in, freedom to go out. It's a relationship thing. And when you go into a relationship in an association, you go in there for a reason. And if you feel that maybe the activities that you go on is at variance with your own person and your principles, the only thing you can do is to quietly and decently leave the place. And that's what I did. You could see my write-up to the chairman of the party. There was no tone there that shows any quarrel or anything. I thank them for the opportunity of being their member, opportunity of associating myself there, and said, going on, I found out that I can no longer continue because of some activities I believe that are at variance with my person and my principles.
What kind of things are that?
Well, it's that personal to me.
Okay.
Quite frankly, there's nothing. It's just like I always tell people, the process through which you get into arrive at any destination, especially when it comes to seeking a public office, is as fundamental as what you do thereafter. So for me, I want to be able to follow a process that I believe in. Some people will tell you, do anything, when you get there you can correct it. No, I don't believe in that. The process must be same as what I do thereafter. As a politician, I have campaigned, I've gone around the country, I've done what I'm supposed to do, presented myself to the people, and if I find out there's other things I might not be able to be part of, I decently withdrew myself. I came into a system, and I was part of that system. I stayed there throughout the years I was in PDP. Nobody can question my loyalty to the party. I participated in everything, and when I'm going out, I didn't go out in a cross situation. I did it so decently because I have right to do so. I'm not desperate to be president. Not am I desperate to be anything. I'm desperate to see Nigeria work, especially for the youths of this country. It's not about, I keep saying, it's not about winning or losing. I would rather lose doing the right thing than win doing the wrong thing. My politics have been consistent in character and integrity throughout the time I started. And you can go and check. This is not the first time I left PDP, if you don't know. In 2002, when I started this politics, I was a member of PDP. Go and read what Olisametu wrote. I went to one meeting and I wanted to contribute, and people said, no, you can't contribute. No, I quietly left them. I went to APGA because I said, if I'm in a system where freedom of contribution is not allowed, I went to APGA, campaigned, won the election, somebody else was declared. I didn't quarrel. I went to court. I became the first Nigerian to ever stay in court for 3 years until court declared me the winner. I didn't quarrel. Same thing is what you see in that consistency I'm saying. When I became governor, 6 months after, I was impeached. I didn't quarrel with those who impeached me. I went to court. Eventually, the court brought me back. I became the first Nigerian to come back from impeachment as a governor. Of course, less than 1 year after that, election was conducted when my tenure was just about 1 year. INEC conducted the election, declared somebody as winner, he became governor. I didn't quarrel. I went to court again. And all through to Supreme Court, I won. That is why you have staggered the election in Nigeria today. It was because of me. I became the first person to set that example. My late mother taught me, always be glad for an experience. No matter what it costs you. So you go and check my record as the governor. I was impeached for 3 reasons. 1, my office had a approved budget to be renovated for 298 million naira. I renovated everything with 43,200,000. My lodge, to repair and renovate the lodge where the governor lives, which is me, was 486 million naira. I did everything with 81 million naira. Number 3 item was that I was saving money without the authority of the house. From day one, I said we must save money. And that went through. For 8 years I was governor. Go ask any contractor, whether any contractor was sat with me to talk about what is I'm entitled to, inflated any contract, any supplier, anybody. And when I left office, his record, I left $75 billion, $500 million at that time, because it's public money. I was managing public trust, and I did so. For me, that is, when you talk about integrity, it questions your management of public trust and resources. Go to Anambra State today. I have no land given to me by Anambra State government. My managing director of my housing authority, Mike Wafo, is still alive. He gave me land and 2 houses. And I told him, I'm not entitled to it. I'm the manager of this. So, for me, nobody have ever seen me in my political life sharing money anywhere. I'm not saying I'm a saint, but I did things which I believed that was right. If you had followed my mantra since I started this, I've always said, Shehu, the greatest tragedy of our country today is consumption and not production. It is sharing and not creating. I said I want to move the country from consumption to production. A country of 200 million people with a land size of 923,000 square kilometers cannot produce or feed itself. No export. So our total export is less than $30 billion.
How do you hope to, to change that narrative?
For 200 million people. Less than 30. That is including oil. Oil is about 80% of our foreign exchange earning. And so you can calculate how much that it is when you include that. So you're talking about, there's no way that can happen. There's no way that can sustain the country. It is not possible. Countries that are smaller in land size, in population, like I've always mentioned, like Vietnam, 100 million, 331,000 square kilometers of land, total export last year, $312 billion. 97% are manufactured goods. There's no production here. It must change.
What would you do differently to turn around this very challenge of our country?
So when you see me go around the country talking about trade, if you go through number one, which are there for everybody to see, is issue of human development index. So first is you talk about issue of health, you talk about issue of education, you talk about the issue of per capita. All these issues are issues you need to invest adequately in. And then especially the last one, you can only increase people's per capita by tackling the economy. And you can't talk about tackling the economy without talking about trade. It is trade that is the main, call it engine or wheel of economy. And countries after countries, growth are measured, wealth measured by the trade of that nation. So that's the critical area where you need to invest. So I'm a trader. I've created wealth. I started as a micro, small, medium business. So I know what you can do in order to create wealth. Today we have massive insecurity, massive, problems all over the place. If you invest in the economy of this country and put millions of people that you have thrown into poverty out of poverty, so you reduce criminality. That has been done everywhere in the world. And we have talented young people, energetic, that we have not invested in.
Confirm now, the process at which you enter office should not be different with what you do thereafter, according to P2B, as he has been saying countlessly. And again, P2B is one of the politicians in this country, or should I say, one of the few politicians in this country that has been standing in a particular place saying, let the right thing be done. Now, talking about sincerity and integrity is something that is in P2B, and he has proved it over time. But of course, you know the country we find ourselves into. But anyway, Sha, I'm going to allow you to share your own thought with me on the comment section. And of course, you know the vibe. Click on that subscribe button, follow, and share for more updates. Because like this, hey, we move.